Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories for you. First one is about the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy, and Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki. Both have arrived in Egypt to attend a conference. Will there be a bilateral meeting between the PM of Ethiopia and President of Eritrea, and which meetings have been held in the past 24 hours between Eritrean president and other leaders, between the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and other leaders in Egypt? We have details for you. Secondly, viewers, an emergency meeting of the Holy Synod is ongoing these minutes. Today is day 2 of this meeting. What is the agenda? Obviously, agenda is Sunday's meeting due to be held in Tigray to appoint new bishops. Tigray Orthodox Church yesterday confirmed the holding of a meeting to appoint new bishops. And after that, Orthodox Church started a meeting. Today is day 2. What is being discussed? What could be the announcement? Could there be a large-scale meeting of all the archbishops of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church? Could it happen like we saw when a breakaway faction emerged in Romania? If you remember back then, the church called all archbishops from across the world who were part of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. All arrived in Addis Ababa, talks were held. Are we going to see similar large-scale discussions? Let's see. And thirdly, viewers, Colonel Demeke Zewdu spoke yesterday. We have been waiting for his response because we know that Amhara regional government a few days ago floated the idea of referendum to decide disputes regarding identity and border issues. Tigray activists, Tigray opposition parties, they are opposing the idea of referendum. We were waiting for the response from Demeke Zewdu. He's a key player. He has been fighting for years. He's head of Volkite Identity Restoration Committee. He was put in prison when TPLF was in power in Addis Ababa. Then he was released. He continued his struggle. Now he is deputy administrator of Volkite, Sagade, Amhara, and head of security. So he's a key man. So what are his views? What did he say yesterday about identity on the 5th of July? Firstly, viewers, PM Abiy arrived in Egypt last night. PM Abiy confirmed his arrival there. He met with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Egypt is holding a conference in Cairo to discuss the Sudanese conflict. Several mediation initiatives are ongoing to resolve the conflict in Sudan because there are several players in Sudan. IGAD-led initiative, Saudi Arabia, US-led initiative. Chad is hosting some armed groups leaders too. Ethiopia was visited by FFC leaders, and now it's Egypt's turn. Egypt is inviting all neighboring countries of Sudan and conference starting today. Isaias Afwerki was the first leader to depart for Egypt yesterday. He held some meetings there. And after that, in the evening, I think PM Abiy also departed. He arrived in Egypt. Isaias Afwerki's meeting with Abdel Fattah al-Sisi could not be confirmed. I did not see any statement from Eritrean Information Minister about Isaias Afwerki's meeting with Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Isaias Afwerki only held a meeting with Egyptian Foreign Minister Sami Shokri. And secondly, he was seen holding a meeting with Salva Kiir, South Sudan's president. So we could not find any pictures, videos confirming Isaias Afwerki's meeting with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi. But PM Abiy has held a meeting with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president. So though he arrived later than Isaias Afwerki, but he has held a meeting with the Egyptian president. And we know that Ethiopia delayed filling of the GERT. Fourth filling of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has been delayed by almost 1 month by Ethiopian government. Why? Ethiopia says it wants to take all the parties on board, Egypt, Sudan, regarding the filling. Filling will start, I think, now in September. It was due to start in coming days, now delayed for 1 month. And Ethiopia is sending a message to River Nile countries that it is not going to block water to any country. Rather, it wants to take all the countries on board. Sisi welcomed PM Abiy. Isaias Afwerki is there too. Question is, will there be a bilateral meeting between the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and President of Isaias Afwerki? So far, we could not confirm any meeting on the sidelines of the conference, any formal meeting. So far, no meeting. It's too early to say, though, that the two are they going to meet or not. But obviously, if Isaias Afwerki can have a meeting with South Sudan, Salva Kiir, he can meet with the PM of Ethiopia too. And Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy, is likely to meet with Isaias Afwerki. What will they discuss? Will there be any official statement? We'll see in coming hours. It's a very interesting situation. We have not seen confirmation, acknowledgement of a meeting between the PM of Ethiopia and President of Eritrea in the last 1.5 years. I could not confirm any statement from the two countries about that, though they held some meeting reportedly, secretly. But no official confirmation about any bilateral meeting between the President of Eritrea and Prime Minister of Ethiopia in the last 1.5 years. Will there be a meeting? We'll try to monitor and update you. It's a very crucial conference, viewers, because almost all efforts to resolve conflict in Sudan have failed. Isaias Afwerki was isolated. He was not being made part of the efforts for mediation. So he was feeling left out. That is why he criticized these mediation initiatives. Egypt is involving Eritrea and Ethiopia both. And PM Abiy did not send a low rank Ethiopian government official, a minister, to attend the meeting. He went there himself. Good move from the PM, I think. It's a very good move. Though what PM Abiy proposed 2 days ago at an IGAD meeting was very irresponsible. He shouldn't have called for establishment of no-fly zone over Khartoum, while he has been opposing establishment of a no-fly zone over Tigray. So he should have been careful in proposing solution. The solution can be proposed only after the parties have been taken on board. And Sudanese government after that issued a statement rejecting the proposal of the PM Abiy and IGAD. Let's see which proposals come up at the summit in Egypt. We know that Egyptian government is very close to Sudanese military. Abdul Fattah al-Sisi is a supporter of Sudanese General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan. But this conference is significant in terms of Ethiopia-Eritrea relations too. Several news sources claiming that relations are very strained, a new war is on the cards. I've been saying there is coldness, no war on the cards. Both have their concerns. I shared their concerns too in some videos. But this meeting will tell the status, existing status of Ethiopia-Eritrea relations. We'll try to update in coming videos. Secondly, viewers, a key meeting of the Holy Synod of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is underway. Today is day 2 of this meeting. The meeting was called to discuss the Archbishop's visit of Mekelle. Patriarch visited Mekelle this week, but doors of churches were closed on the Patriarch and his comrades, his associates, archbishops. They were not allowed to enter a church in Mekelle. They visited an IDP center near Mekelle where they met with slogans, banners about alleged involvement of Orthodox church leaders like Abune Abraham, Abune Petros in the 2-year-long war. So they returned. No meeting between the Archbishop, between Tigray archbishops and the Patriarch. The Archbishop did not receive the Patriarch. Patriarch is back, and Patriarch was accompanied by delegation too. Delegation comprising top Ethiopian notables like Derata Tulu, religious leaders, scholars too. After the delegation returned to Addis Ababa, a meeting was summoned. But we saw that after that, Tigray announced the holding of a meeting, which is scheduled to be held on Sunday. And it's clearly mentioned that in a statement issued by the Tigray Church that this meeting will be about the voting to appoint new bishops. Of course, the main church opposes appointment of bishops by any region. It would be a violation of church law. That is why an emergency meeting is ongoing. Today is day 2 of this emergency meeting. The Patriarch Abune Matthias is in a difficult position. Synod wants him to take a strong position against Tigray, that he should condemn what happened during his visit, that he should condemn the holding of this new meeting. He should warn Tigray archbishops that they should not appoint any bishops without approval from the main church. The Patriarch so far is silent. He is trying to control the situation. Is Synod more powerful or Patriarch? I think Synod. Who is dominating the Synod? Amhara region based archbishops or bishops from other regions too? What happened in Tigray in terms of reception to Abune Matthias has complicated matters. It was a snub not only to the Patriarch but to entire Synod, because the Patriarch was accompanied by other archbishops too. That is why we could see some statement in coming hours by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And people say church could call a meeting of the archbishops of the church from across the world. I personally think that Tigray archbishops are not going to finalize any appointments on Sunday. I think they'll hold a meeting. They'll start the process of appointments. They'll not make appointments. It is going to be a way of putting pressure, keeping pressure upon the main church. That is my analysis. They want to keep the pressure. At the same time, they're not announcing total split. They can announce the formation of a new synod. They can say they want to elect a new patriarch. No. They have not elected a new patriarch. They have not formed a new synod. It means they want to keep the pressure on the church. And they want to maybe get as much as they can from the church. Let's see. We're monitoring this meeting of the synod. What have been coming videos? Thirdly, viewers, Demeke Zewdu, head of Volkite Identity Restoration Committee, spoke today. We have been waiting for his speech because we know that Amhara region says that it is making preparation for holding a referendum in areas where there are identity and border questions, and the areas are Raya, Volkite, Sagade, Amhara. Demeke Zewdu is a key player. He is head of Volkai Sagade Amhara Security Wing, Deputy Administrator, and he has close ties with Eritrean military too. Demeke Zewdu spoke yesterday on the 5th of July, and he said that freedom is a right, and people of Volkai Sagade Amhara have gained this right through struggle. They struggled, they regained their identity. What they have regained, it is their right. No one can take it away. So Demeke Zewdu did not show any flexibility in his talk yesterday. He seems to be saying that the issue has been decided. No negotiation, no referendum. People have achieved their objective. Objective was that this zone should be part of the Amhara region. It should be free of those who have been holding this region by force, allegedly. So that is what he said yesterday. So here there is definitely a difference of opinion between the Amhara regional government and Demeke Zewdu. How will he respond if Amhara government announced to hold a referendum in Volkai? Will he accept it? I don't think so. He will only accept it if IDPs don't return. If IDPs don't return to Volkai, I think Demeke Zewdu and Amhara regional government, they can easily win a referendum in Volkai. If IDPs return, demographic balance will change. And Demeke Zewdu is the most vocal critic of the return of IDPs. He does not want Tigrayans to return to their homes in Volkai Sagade Amhara, because if they return, Tigrayans will be in majority. Let's see. So far, all sides taking positions. Deciding power is with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, with the Ethiopian National Defense Force. They are silent. They are just floating ideas. Sometimes they say a constitution should be consulted for the resolution of this issue. Sometimes they say a referendum should be held. Federal government officials, Ridwan, PM Abiy, etc. While the parties are taking positions. So overall, we can say that there is no clarity. Stalemate is continuing. How will the issue of Volkai and Raya be resolved? No one clearly knows. Thank you for watching.